Yo, what's going on, everyone? Riley
What's
and I are
up?
back on the Common Collective page, platform, community, whatever you want to call it. And today we're going over really our whole experience living together this past summer, working at Red Ventures with one another, and everything that came about it. Now, as you can see, I'm back in my apartment in overcast Clifton right now. And Riley, where you at, man? Where you located?
We're in a rainy Charlotte right now. Rainy Charlotte. So seeing the overcast here as well today, but sun's still shining inside. So
Oh yeah,
we're
always
getting
vibing over here at the Common Collective. But yeah, today we wanted to get into really how the overall experience went with living with Riley, working at Red Ventures together, and the takeaways we had from it. So we first wanted to get into like the overall work-life balance with working at Red Ventures. Me being an intern, and Riley being a full-time employee. So the first thing that I want to ask Riley is, how did your full-time with Red Ventures compare to your internship? I don't know if you want to like say any like pre-words to explain what Red Ventures is, or like what we all did there.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and kick it off with kind of the differences between my experiences, and then once we kind of talk about you getting introduced to it through my internship experience and stuff like that, we can give a little bit more context. So my big differences, I would say, from being an intern and employee at RV were very similar experiences in the first couple of weeks because it's onboarding. It's like the same kind of stuff. But I noticed definitely some changes from the summer, and I think overall, like, my primary thing that I saw different was like my perspective shift of like already knowing kind of what I was going to be doing, the kind of work I'd be doing, and working with data and kind of the tools and software I'd be exposed to. I'd already worked in there, so like I already felt a little bit more comfortable. So naturally I felt like I learned a little bit better through onboarding, and it kind of like fast tracked me into the work, where in 2 weeks I was able to like be active and ready, like a helpful employee right away, whereas like the internship, I think it took a good month or so to really like feel like I was running and like providing any kind of value like whatsoever. So I'm kind of curious to see like how you felt and like what kind of time frame it took you to like get comfortable at RV, because it's like a lot to learn. But yeah, I want to transition like question to you. So like, for those who don't know like how you got into the internship and everything, do you want to kind of walk us through like what was your experience like hearing from me after I finished my internship, and like what kind of sparked your curiosity to like want to end up at RV? And then we can kind of tell a little bit about the story of what Red Ventures is, and talk a little bit more, maybe answer the question of like how long it took you to really feel like you were running there.
Yeah, so I know we've explained it on past the Come and Correct podcast, but I found out about Red Ventures because Riley and I are both we were both entrepreneurship students at the University of Cincinnati, in some fellow programs, and we actually just linked up. We got to know each other, had a lot of similarities in common. That's how I found out about Red Ventures, through his internship in the past. And so yeah, when you had explained Red Ventures to me at the beginning, I think this is the struggle I've been having recently explaining my experiences, is that Red Ventures does so much in so many different areas and spaces and topics that it's hard to explain what all their hands are in. So coming in, I had an idea of what the company was, like what it was like. And the one thing you've always told me that I never forgot is you said during your internship stint, it was the most challenging but the most intelligent you felt in that time period. And I think that was something that really stood out to me, is that you were like accepting and welcoming of the challenge, but still recognized the difficulty in it and like how that allowed you to grow. So I think that was something that I was looking forward to, both like on the analytical and the creative side. And then, so yeah, I found out about an info session about Red Ventures, got through the application process, shout out Riley, through a lot of help and preparation in that, and landed the internship as a digital marketing analyst. So yeah, getting into your second question of like how, like the evolution of the mindset and going into work every day, I would say the first 2 weeks is really like getting your training wheels off and like understanding this is what I need to do when I come into work. These are the people I need to speak to, and this is like how I need to calculate what I'm doing throughout the day. and then from like 2 to 6, you're walking in like, okay, I'm finally getting the hang of it. I know what everybody like expects of me and what I should accomplish on the day to day. And then at like 6 to 10, it's like, okay, I got the hang of it, but this is almost over. So it's really like enjoying the last moments in Charlotte, enjoying the last moments in the office. But then like you have your feet under you, but it's like, okay, wow, I don't really have too much time to like really dig in and dig deep. I think that's really something interesting about internships, and what Red Ventures does really well is prepare you and like allow you to learn at the same time, while also just like being able to ask questions that interns can ask, while also just like, that's one thing that Rick pointed out in a couple of his, Rick Elias, the CEO of Red Ventures, is that Red Ventures gives their employees real work. I think that's something that's super important because you get to see like the impact you're making in the day-to-day work you're doing even as an intern. So that's how I say like I evolved as I went, and it was super nice having Riley literally like a room away, not even like a walk away or a drive away, like a room away. If I had any questions of like, how do I access a certain platform in Red Ventures, just like services and software, like what does this acronym mean, or how should I go about answering this question, or something like that. So just having Riley there as just like a resource and a friend at the same time was like more than I could have ever asked for, and living right next to campus was like something that I couldn't have been better, truly. So that was my like first initial experiences with that. And then one question I had is like, going into your internship, did you know what to expect, and did you have like certain goals for yourself, or did you go about it a different way?
So that's a really good question. Honestly, I did not know what to expect whatsoever. And so like that's why I think I tried my best to translate to you exactly what your life would look like a little bit more, because I had no expectation. Like truthfully going into it, like as an entrepreneurship major, as you said, like business has always been a focus of mine, and I had been working in like my own small consulting business for digital marketing for a few local companies in Cincinnati there. And so I thought I had like really scratched the surface and like understood digital marketing. Like I thought I got it. And then I kind of expected to do a lot of similar things, like getting into the internship with RV and like that capacity. And safe to say I opened the door to something I wasn't expecting, because I like was introduced into the world of data, which I feel like is like the centerfold of like what RV is and how they're able to make the decisions they make to help their businesses grow. And that was a completely different side of things than I had ever been exposed to in digital marketing. So I would say like walking into my internship, I expected a lot more simplistic things and a lot less data than I got, but through the course of it all, I like realized the importance of it and why that's at the forefront of like how you lead a digital company to the place it is. And I guess we can kind of lead into with that, like what is Red Ventures for those who don't know, like brief, really quick, for anybody
we'll
who
get that
know,
question to Riley.
Yeah, you can do your own research, but I would say like at the end of the day, Red Ventures is a large digital media company. They have two folds of the business, one being Red Digital, which Josh worked under, which is working with different brands that RV doesn't own, kind of in a partnership manner to maybe run their digital campaigns, etc. There's a lot of different things that go on there. And then on the other fold of the business, we have Red Ventures assets from CNET to Healthline to the Points Guy, which I work on in travel, and they cover different industries and different niches, and they make money in a variety of different ways, but at the end of the day, they're optimizing their sites and their brands and their portfolios to help them be more successful and drive in more profit. So that's kind of the two large ends of the business, and there's a lot more that they touch and grab that I'm not covering, but for those who want a baseline foundation of it, that's what it is, if that made any sense to anyone. So, but I want to start transitioning to a little bit about living together and kind of what our experience was like, and then we can kind of talk a little bit about Charlotte and close everything out. So like, I can kind of start off with my experience, and then I'm going to just kick it straight over to you and get some of your thoughts and maybe have a question. But overall, I love the experience of getting to live with Josh. Like I said, we clicked off really well in college and became really best friends, like kind of right off the bat, started talking, communicating every day, like always hanging out, and just very in tune to kind of what we were doing and like our goals and our paths. And we're just very aligned, and I would say kind of like how we work, how we operate morally, ethically, and just kind of like our overall mindset and perspective of like work and like driving towards more and always kind of pushing in that direction. So living together was really cool to have a whole nother energy here. And it's like I miss you already being here, because it was cool to like, you know, we both were getting up early and kind of pushing each other in different ways just by association, where it's like it really kind of made me realize, you know, the quote of you are the average of who you hang around. Yeah. So like really be choosy of who you pick to put yourself around. It's true, because I feel like me and Josh are very similar in those like progressive goals and everything like that. And so it kind of helped me, you know, naturally just be better in that direction. And I feel like we kind of emulate each other and gave each other help where we needed it. Like, yo, I need help on this. I'm working on this project here. Or we were collaborating for the podcast kind of, you know, together in the same apartment, which was a really cool experience. And then like, from what you said, from like Red Ventures, like you starting the internship got me to like re-spark my brain for like what Red Ventures was like, but also like provide some value to you and like what you're able to do there. So it was like really cool how it crossed over in so many different ways. And then like just a lot of moments throughout that, like I feel like we generally like push each other to be better, and it was cool to have that like right next to each other.
Yeah, going in, because like me and Riley hung out probably every day of like the last semester, your senior year. So like we would already spend a lot of time together, like plotting on the Come and Correct podcast, RIP. Then like looking back at like entrepreneurship courses, him helping me with my schedule. So we already had like a good foundational like friendship built up. But like as people can like say in the past, living with someone is much different than just like being someone's friend. And I think what was really interesting about like us living together, that there was no like distinct line between like, okay, we just hung out and now we're living together. It just seemed like it was like one, just like all came in as one thing, and there was no like hump to get over, like some like things to smooth out. It was just like, okay, like we live together, cool. Like I feel like this is normal. And then like I don't feel like you can't have that with a lot of people. It's only like a select amount of people you can have that with. And yeah, like Riley said, just like living like with Riley and then Faith as well, and just like when you're sleeping, it's like 6 a.m. You're supposed to like get up, and I hear Riley and Mario like get out of the door. It's like, okay. It's like, okay, dang, someone's up getting after it. I got stuff to do. I'm meant to get up this early. It's like, all right, the motivation, it just gives you that like spark of energy. Like, okay, Riley's getting after it. I might as well get after it too. Or just like seeing Riley doing his journal outside. It just like gives you that like mental reminder, like, okay, I didn't do mine. I need to get after mine. And then just having that like someone you could come back to after work and just like have a friendly conversation with, not speaking about like work-oriented things or tasks you need to do or deliverables that you didn't finish during the day. Just like having like a day-to-day conversation was like, yo, how was your day? How'd it go? What are you trying to do? Like what are you guys about to do for dinner? Like you trying to go to the range? I think it was like the perfect happy medium of like progression and like goal reaching and like growth and evolution mixed with like just like friendship and kicking it, enjoying life and having a good time. And I think that's what like makes, I don't know, I think that's what like people I'm really drawn to, is people that like they're driven enough where nothing's going to stop them to get what they want, but they're also as in tune with life to understand that this isn't everything, it's only like the beginning of it all. And like what life is really about is to enjoy it. And that's something that like I hold like in similarities to you. And the last thing I'll say on this is like Riley's been training for I forget what the Ironman's called. It's in Augusta? No, it's not.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, Augusta. Yep.
Okay, so he's training for he's training for Augusta. So like he'd be on his bike trainer, putting in miles on miles. He'd be doing runs in the morning, like stretching, and I'll just see that, and it would just like motivate me. I did in my first double-digit run, right? Mm-hmm. That was my first double-digit run. Did my first double-digit run, Barbie and Charlotte. I was running a lot, so like just seeing that, it just like pushed me to like find like my kind of like niche within running, and that's just continued evolving here soon. Hopefully I'll be signing up for the Charlotte Marathon We'll see.
Yes, sir.
How my
Yes, sir. Everybody here, hold him to that. Yep.
Yeah.
Ricky signed up, so we got at least one of the 4 in the Common Collective signed up.
Yeah.
I'll be signed up here next weekend, and Josh alike, hopefully.
I'll be signed up. We'll see. But yeah, Charlotte was. We can go more into like the city life now.
Yeah.
But Charlotte was I enjoyed the city. I'll just mention like 3 things that popped out to me was just like the diversity and not only like backgrounds, but just like the things you experienced there. One thing that stood out to me was just like the display of minority wealth there. It's just like I feel like it's more like noticeable than in like Cincinnati and Columbus. I don't know if it's just because more of like a higher density of minority populations, but that was something me and Drew always talked about. The second thing is Southern hospitality isn't real. I've already established this a couple of times. I'm kidding. And then the third thing, I think one thing people were telling me about Charlotte a lot was that it was like 10 years ahead of Cincinnati and Columbus. And I don't think it was like much more of like evolved in Cincinnati and Columbus. It just felt, I'll say it like this, when I got back to Cincinnati and Columbus, I felt like the speed of life was much slower. I don't know if you felt that, but like right when I pulled into Columbus, I was just like, I don't know, like I feel like the people drive slower, but this like the way things go about, it just felt slower to me, and I thought that was super interesting because I was so used to the fast pace. I was just like, I feel like I was missing something.
That's an interesting point you bring up because it's like my thoughts between the 2 cities of like Cincinnati and Charlotte were much in the same, where it's like it's not that like they're behind 10 years, like Cincy's behind 10 years, because Cincy's like I feel like very like hardworking, like it's a gritty city, like everybody really like feel like it's hardworking there. But there's almost like a different notch to it in Charlotte where it's like almost like it moves forward faster and things happen and progress quicker here, and it's almost like I would say I've never been in like obviously I've only really lived in Cincinnati and then Lima growing up, but like living here, like the wealth that is here and the amount of business that is here, like not that there's not a lot in Cincinnati, but just the way it's spread out here is so different, and you're around so much success and so many, I would say like young professionals and like generationally all the way up, like you're around a lot of success in the area, at least we were in and living in right here, and kind of the bubble all the way up to uptown. Like being around that kind of makes you feel like everything moves faster because you're kind of on the chase towards that in the same way. Like where in Cincinnati it's like you see it, but it's almost a little less prevalent. And I think part of it is maybe the size of the city and the scale of like the business here, and kind of how a lot of the headquarters have ended up trickling down, and obviously just like how big some of the business is here. But I definitely echo those like feelings there, where it's like there's just a little bit of a subtle difference, but it's interesting because I feel like both cities have like similar energy in the same way. You know, like they feel very familiar. Like it doesn't feel like I'm far from Ohio in the same way. Like, you know, like it feels like more Midwest than Southern to me, and I think that's just because there's so many people who like have moved from different places to be in Charlotte that it kind of feels that way.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I do miss the Charlotte living. Just being back in Cincinnati is good. But yeah, just like it's so odd just getting used to a place and then moving from that, and especially like with you and Drew being there, just like seeing you guys being full time, it's like kind of put me in that mindset while I was there. So getting back was just like a little odd, but definitely I'll be back soon. And I just had a question, but I forgot it. Oh, that was one thing. The food in Charlotte is super good, and just like Riley said, the vibes, like the young culture. I feel like it's like a really like high density of postgraduate individuals that have come there, whether for work or just like to find a new way of life, a new speed of life. So if anyone's looking to like live there or intern there, highly recommend. I had an amazing time, especially if you can find buddies or people you want to live with. It'll just be 10 times better. So Riley, I don't know if you have anything you wanted to end on with. I know we're shooting for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I got some closing thoughts for sure. I would say like some big kind of lessons and underlying themes are like for the both of us. It's like definitely find your people who push you and that you're similar to, where you're like both working towards the same things, just maybe in different ways, because that definitely has like excelled our, I feel like, life and career paths through each other. And then the second thing is like take advantage of those opportunities between people in your network. So like definitely anybody who's listening to this right now and is interested in ever working or interning at RV, you got our connection now. Reach out to us somewhere on a platform and we'll try to get you connected in and give you some more information on things like that. And lastly, like just the like overarching things of everything you said about your experience. Like it was a really good summer in terms of like work, like progression and like balance. Like we got to go golfing, we got to do some fun stuff, like explore the city together. Like everything was new to me as well as you, and like that difference of like you knowing that you kind of can get used to it but you're leaving, and then me like kind of having the more permanence. Like it was really cool to like experience a new thing but just in a little bit different of a lens and like share that together. So like it's something I'll always carry with me. But at the end of the day, like super blessed and happy you at least got the experience and we got you out here, and obviously hope that you end up this way in the near future, wherever your career may take you. But gotta have the Common Collective live strong, and whether it's on Riverside right here, sponsor us to 86, or wherever we're at, it's like I know it'll live on because of like what we've created and that foundation. And so super happy with everything. And
one small piece to add on that is, like Riley said, like the people you surround yourself and the team that you have can just be like such a accurate indicator of like where your journey's gonna go, and just to give like prerequisite to like how we ended up in this position in like RV and Charlotte. So like looking back on the internship or like the internship application, so Riley already accepted his full-time offer in Charlotte, and like everyone was looking for offers, and then Drew Foster, our friend, accepted an internship in Charlotte as well. But I still had to go through like the entire Red Ventures process, but like we were already speaking it into action. Like we already knew it was going to happen. Like I was confident in like my abilities to get through the application process, and Riley, he helped me with interview prep questions. He helped me like looking through my documents. Drew helped me with interview prep questions. Just like being able to imagine like what you want to accomplish is something that's, I think it's not talked about enough, but it's not like prioritized, and it's not shown like the real importance of doing it. So if like you want something, visualize it, visualize yourself, you're going to get it, and provide yourself that confidence. And I think most of the confidence comes from like the people that are around you. Just like form yourself into like a group in an environment where you're going to be able to reach your goals. And then that's just why we're here today. So I think that was just an important thing, and I think that was more of like a thank you to like you and Drew, because like you said, that summer was more than I could have ever asked for. I had so many opportunities, from like physical fitness wise to professional and like marketing wise. So shout out to Common Collective, bruh. Shout out to Common Collective. But no, we hope you enjoyed
those are great points.
This duo discussion. We hope you enjoyed this duo discussion between Riley and myself, the Charlotte recap. And if you're not, follow us on Instagram at thecommoncollective.life, Riley?
Yep.
Correct?
At thecommoncollective.life.
And on TikTok as well as YouTube, at The Common Collective. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope the new platform, Riverside, was good consumer experience. The user interface was good and all that digital marketing stuff.
Yes, sir.
But I think I should stop talking because I'm getting a little weird. But Riley, you wanna send us off, or are we good?
Yeah, I'll send us off. So if you've made it this far and you've listened to me and Josh talk a little bit about our experience, I appreciate it. We're glad we can share a little bit about our journey and our path towards what we're seeking, and we hope that you guys can kind of take some stuff away from that and keep working towards yours. So we appreciate you. Definitely share this if you liked it. Let us know what you're thinking, and below, if you got questions for us, there anything you want to see more of, less of, let us know. We want to get some feedback. So we appreciate you all, and we're looking forward to getting back with another duo soon, and we'll catch you at the next one. So appreciate you. Peace.